All right, it's Bill here, and here's my thoughts on a 4-3 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Calgary Flames. I know all of you are watching baseball. Hell, if you stayed up last night, you watched 2 games of baseball, 18 innings. That is insane. I went to bed, played darts, and went to bed when I came home and watched some guy throw a pitch to Ohtani, and he had a home run to tie the game. I went to bed, thank God. I don't know what time did that game end. 2 a.m. That's crazy. But anyways, I know most of you are probably watching the Blue Jays game right now. I'm not. I'm going to do this video on a 4-3 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll get into the game. I'll spend a little bit of time. But before the game, they were talking about Johnny T getting 500 goals. Now, it would have been kind of crazy if he did. The only other Leaf to do that was Matt Sundin, and he happened to do it about 3 hours before my daughter was born. So he did it against Calgary. Kiprasov in overtime, slap shot over the shoulder. And I remember being in the labor room with my wife and my father-in-law. And my daughter was born basically 3 hours later. She was born on the 15th. It happened on the 14th, but she was born on the 15th, just about 7 minutes into or 9 minutes into the new year. But so I thought, oh, vibes here. Johnny T gonna get 500 against Calgary. Well, that didn't happen, but let's get into the game. I've got some comments. Hopefully I entertain you a little bit, but let's get into the first goal. First goal was scored by Morgan Frost. Let me explain something to everybody. I really don't like dissing a 20-year-old kid. I don't. But it's enough. The Leafs are putting this kid in an awful situation. Let's face facts. Easton Cowan is not a current NHLer. Can we stop this nonsense? I don't know. We got Sammy Blaze. You got Yarncak. You got something. Stop the nonsense and put this kid in the minors so he can learn the game. Because he cannot play NHL hockey right now. He's pretty piss poor at it. He's not very good in his defensive zone. Now, I don't know if that comes over time. You know, Nylander, when he first came up, was tough to watch. Kadri, played against him when he first came up, was tough to watch as a Leaf. Stop the nonsense and let the kid go to the minors. Because here's what happened on the first goal. Now, he wasn't helped out by Joshua or Waugh. But this dump and chase without the chase is growing a little bit old with me. The goal starts with a dump in. How many times do we have to talk like this? You dump it in, and 10 seconds later, it's in your net. You want to know why it's in your net? Because you can't chase it. It's a dump. It's a piss-poor effort by Cowan to get the puck back. I thought this kid was a dog. He didn't look like a dog on this one. And then they back up, and they get back into play. Then he does a flyby. Joshua with a flyby. Waugh covering the invisible man. Cottonelle Carlo, we'll get into him in a second. I got some ideas for him. Cottonelle Carlo, I believe it was it Benoit or Larson, I forget which one. Watch and cover the invisible man. It's a 3-on-5, and Morgan Frost gets a wide open cross-ice pass to bury it in the net. Please watch Cowan's first couple shifts. I don't need to watch any more to know that this kid does not know how to play defense in his own end. So, it's not a bad thing. But it's bad if you keep playing him in the NHL. He's going to get into trouble. He's going to lose confidence. Get him in the minors tomorrow. Like tomorrow. Enough. If anyone thinks that Cowan's been good, you're not... I know everyone wants to say it because they want to give the kid good feelings and they want to make him the cowboy feel good about himself. I'm sick and tired of people babying the Leafs. The kid's not ready. Send him to the minors. Watch the first goal. Watch the first shifts. Watch the first period. 9 minutes of basic garbage by him. And I shouldn't be getting upset about a 20-year-old. But if you're in the NHL, I'm going to judge you like an NHL player. And he ain't one. Right now, he's not one. I hope he will be one. I really do. I hope he's got get his cowboy boots, go strutting to whatever Hank Williams bullcrap. Get on it. But put him in the minors, please. Second period starts. And you've got Max Domi on kind of a broken play. The Leafs got a little bit lucky. It was a horrible pinch. I forget who the Calgary player was. But Mini Domi, well, he had two good shifts and one really bad one. We'll get into the really bad one in just a sec. But this one happened to be one where he shot the puck. Kind of a broken play. I think it was Michelli who took the hit. I'm going to talk about Michelli and I'm going to talk about Knies in just a second. I thought the second line was pretty good tonight. But, Michelli took the hit. Like, he on the boards, he took a pretty good hit. The pinch, Lawrence was left, and it was a 2-on-1, and Domi decides to shoot it. And it's 1-1. And I thought at that point the Leafs started to dominate the play. The Leafs finally had some forecheck. It's going well. That second period felt like ice was tilted. This is the Leafs, even the third, fourth lines, the first line, second line. We're getting some offensive zone pressure. We're getting shots at the net. Everything is good. And then Joel Farabee, who hasn't scored a goal in, I think it was 26 games or something like that. What happened to that kid? Anyways. A 1-on-2. 1-on-2. And the two names he was going against for the Leafs is not the two that you want to hear about. And that would be Mini Domi and Cottonelle Carlo. Why you so soft? Why you so slow? Go back to Boston, Cottonelle Carlo. I got better ideas for Cottonelle Carlo in just a second. What happens is Farabee goes around. It's kind of a little pick, but whatever. He gets around Domi. Then he goes to the net. I heard everyone blaming Stolars for it. There's a defenseman in front of the net, 6'5", has thrown 5 hits in 10 fucking games. Sorry for my swearing. Effing games. I didn't say the first one. 10 games, he has 5 hits. This piece of garbage, softer than a Cottonelle. I've got ideas for him. Farabee should have been taken out. He should have been destroyed before he had his head down going to the net, and Carlos sitting in the middle of the net. 2 strides, and he puts him on his ass. What does Cottonelle Carlo do? Does what he always does. Avoid contact at all costs. You know what this guy reminds me? I'm old. If you're old or you're young, you probably watched The Wizard of Oz. It had Lane Hudson and that kid 73 from Buffalo were leading Dorothy down the yellow brick road. They're picking up a scarecrow. They're picking up a Tin Man. And then they pick up a Carlo. The Cowardly Lion. You know what it reminds me of? The first scene with the Cowardly Lion. Where Dorothy smacks him on the face. He starts crying. I got the quote for you. You're right. I am a coward. I haven't any courage at all. I even scare myself sometimes. That's Carlo. He's the Cowardly Lion. Look at the circles under my eyes. I haven't slept in weeks. Dorothy says, why are you counting sheep? I'm scared of them too. How much more? I thought Berube was a tough dude. I thought he was 7th in penalty minutes. How do you watch that goal and watch Carlo make sure he covers nobody? It was 2 strides and you hit the guy. The play is over. Who was he covering? There was no one there. He's a chicken shit. How can you be 6'5" of chicken shit? I think there's a chicken foot band. Chicken foot. Sorry, I didn't mean chicken foot. Like Sammy Hager's in it. Friggin' awesome. How do you watch that play and keep putting this guy on the ice? You know what that tells me, Chief Craig Strongbow? You're a chicken too. You are a purveyor of chicken. How is this? I don't care what you traded. I don't care what Treveling Ding 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 Ding's reputation is. This guy's let people run into our goalie with no response and go towards the net where they could be dummied. 2 strides, he would have put him on his butt. He would have been a hero. But no, that would require contact, and I'm scared. You know what he should do? I think I saw something. Isn't there like a Disney Frozen, like on ice? Frozen on ice? Go dress like Elsa, you little prick. You gonna be afraid of the snow too? Go get your little white booties, your tutu, and your pink leotards. Put on a little wig. And say, let it go! Let it go! How does this guy get to play hockey? There's got to be a standard in the NHL that you have to have a wuss level that's not negative. Even if he played in a shinny league, he'd be called a coward. How do you spend time in the NHL when you're a coward? There's no other word for it. You're a coward. You're yellow. And Chief Craig Strongbow puts up with it. How doesn't everyone... Simon Benoit hits everything that moves. Watch Simon Benoit in the zone. Watch him go get pucks. Watch him... He doesn't care about his own safety. He's going to get things. He ain't scared. Watch Myers tonight. I saw a hit from Myers. Watch them in the zone. Watch Ekman Larson in his zone. Even watch Riley. We'll talk with him in a sec. And you watch this guy? How is your own team not punching you out? You chicken. I think there needs to be a gene test on him. I think he's a half cowardly lion. That's an inexcuse. By the way, blaming Stollers on that, you're morons. Okay? I saw even Tia said, "Oh, you think Stollers should have had it?" Yeah. There shouldn't have been a shot on net, is what you should have been talking about. Mini Domi and Cottonelle Carlo at work. I might as well do it. It's been a while. Your Brandon Calvo report. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. 24 minutes of ice time. 0 hits. 24 minutes of ice time for a cowardly line. How does anyone on your team look at you and have any respect for you? You have no respect. RESPECT. You got none. I don't even want you to go back to Boston. That's. I'm not a big Boston fan, but I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. I hear the Toronto Spectre are looking for some tall defensemen. Maybe? I don't know. Is that their name? Toronto Spectre? I don't know. Maybe. Oops, I shouldn't have said that, eh? I think they'd kick you off the team, too, for being a coward. You'd be, what's the minor leagues of that? Go to that. Go to no contact ASHL, GE Electric Hockey. That's what you need. Chicken. Anyways, now that I've had my little rant on that little guy, I want to talk about a player that did good. See, I'm gonna go from frustration and hatred to thank you for showing up. Matthew Knies, it's good to have you back. Welcome, my friend. Good to have you back. Matthew Knies had a hell of a game. He was on fire, chasing pucks. That's what I expected out of Knies all season. Granted, you haven't showed up for 9 games. It is really nice to have you back because Knies was dominant tonight. You see, when Matthew Knies is a dominant power forward, when he plays like that, when he's playing on the outside, not getting involved in the play, no bueno. I liked his game tonight. I like Michelli's game tonight. I'm going to call it like I see it. I like Michelli's game tonight as well. I thought that line was dogging the puck. Johnny T! Wasn't horrible. But good on Knies and good on Michelli, and I thought that line was pretty decent. And Nylander made a nice little play on this one, just dogging the puck, getting the puck back over to Knies. Knies made a great play. I didn't think Nylander, Matthews, and McMahon were anything to write home about. They weren't awful. They weren't good. They were meh. But the second line, Knies was dominant tonight, and what a play. And then across to make it 2-2. Okay, you go to the third period. The Leafs dominate the third period. They're playing well. And then they get the power play goal, which was a horrible play by Anderson. He fired it. Matthews, right spot, right time. They go muck up the puck. Johnny Tay makes a nice little play. Matthews made a nice little play to get it out front. And Matthew Knies tips it home, the power play. The power play was atrocious. Can we make one more statement? Really doesn't need to be on no power play. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of going around and then not shoot it, and then pass it off. Stupid play. I saw it about 75 times tonight. I don't need to see a 76th anymore. Put Ekman-Larsson on the top power play unit, please and thank you. Riley. They do the same play all the time. They crisscross, and then they're crisscrossing at the blue line. What goal are you scoring on from the blue line? Get it down low. I don't know. This is where I get mad at Savard. I don't. Derek Lalonde. Blame the assistant coaches? No. Riley's just not good enough. He's got no confidence. Ekman-Larsson with the puck has a shot way better. He's already shown it. Good passer. Try something new, please. And then after that, you got Riley going to work. You're owning the game. It's very clear. Now, the TSN guys are blaming Myers as well. Shut up. The play on that play, you can see Myers was tired. He's going to the bench and really tries to pass him. And now, if he was passing to Myers, that would have been fine. The key to passing to Myers is to hit Myers with the pass. Don't put it 10 feet in front of him. The play on that was simply up the boards. It's a simple play. Up the boards, get it in, get your change. It's clear Myers was going to the bench for a change. No, really fires it 10 feet in front of him, puts him in no man's land, then doesn't get back on his guy, backland over to Hanzik, tie game. You want to just, the Leafs are playing good and then they shoot themselves in the foot. Like, how much more do we got to put up with Riley? 5 more years, 6 more years? I can't wait. At least his wife, you know what his wife would be joining Carlo in that Frozen. She wouldn't be Elsa, she'd be the other one. Maybe Olaf. No. Yeah, no. You know what? Put her as Elsa and put Carlo as Olaf, that snow guy who melts. You know, when the heat is on, he melts. Yeah, go with the Olaf kid with the big carrot in his nose. That Olaf, that would be Carlo. Carlo Olaf. Still get your white tutus. Don't worry about it, Carlo. You can still wear your white tutus. You don't get a nice blue dress, though. You probably have to wear like a, I don't know, like a little, what do you call it? Those like puffy jackets, like Seinfeld, the puffy jackets. But you get a carrot for a nose, or you really don't need one. Look at your face. But you get a little button on, and you still be scared. You still be scared. Anyways, the Hansa goal made me sick to my stomach. Started to think, okay, maybe I should switch over to the Blue Jay game. And then, in just the most... See, these are the goals I love. There's no talent on this goal at all. It is just Knies, and Domi, and Tavares working their butts off. And they're moving at the speed of a snail. But it all got caught up nicely. But they didn't give up on the puck. Tavares didn't give up on it. Knies didn't give up on it. Handed it over to Domi, went to the net. And Domi buries another shot with 2 minutes to go. 4-3. They kill off the rest of the game. Leafs win 4-3. Now, granted, they're beating the Calgary Flames, who I think have 1 regulation win, so they're not playing great. But it was nice to see some offensive zone work. Very rare to see that. I think they would have dominated. I don't know if they have the stat for it. But there should be a stat. Now there's no stat for how much offense is. So it just felt like the Leafs had a little bit more forecheck. Now, the Leafs get forechecked in their zone all the time. That hasn't changed. Their defensive zone coverage, Bobby McMahon, Robertson, Cowan, Joshua in our own end. It's a Nylander in our own end. It's a shit show. But we did get some offensive zone pressure there. Felt like we were the better team this game. Although you're a better team than Calgary Flames. What are you going to play on the parade route now? Anyways, I'm tired. I'll go watch some Toronto Blue Jays. I don't even know what the score is. Hopefully I don't jinx them. The Leafs play tomorrow night. You get to see my nice rosy face tomorrow. Cheers.